What up, my people? ¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Welcome, bienvenidos to another episode, otro episodio de Hoy en Día TV. Happy, terrific Thursday. I am your host and producer, Yessie Rodriguez. I'm going to bring on to the stage the amazing entrepreneur, book writer, business owner, Nadine Barton. Yes, welcome. Also, just as a heads up, our CC the Actionist, Dr. CC the Actionist will not be joining us today, but it's okay because we have some pretty cool, we have a new co-host that will be joining us periodically today. So we'll get to that shortly. Nadine, how are you? Welcome.
I am great. Happy Thursday. Hola.
Hola. Yes, we have an amazing show and I'm super excited. I mean, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and we're going to talk about good things too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know. So a lot has happened in 1 week since we just had our last episode, especially with immigration and ICE and just the whole topic about that. But before I dive into that with you, how are you? How has your week been?
Other than getting over a terrible 3-day migraine, I am doing well, thank God. You know how those headaches can be. I wouldn't wish migraine on my worst enemy, you know. So I'm just glad I was able to get over it. But it's just one of those things, you know, you don't have any control over. But I'm feeling much better today. Thanks for asking.
I'm glad. That's important. That's what matters. That you're feeling better. Yeah,
Mm.
migraines aren't fun at all because I periodically get them too. And, there's different causes for it, right? It can be stress and foods, and it's just a variation, and it really varies by person. So I agree. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. It's tough, but I'm glad to know that you're feeling better and that you're doing better.
Yeah, I've had migraines for years, so who knows what's the cause of it? No, the doctors can't tell me anything. So,
I'm sorry for that.
and it's
But
so
no,
debilitating
yeah,
too. You try to fight through it, but it's so debilitating because you try to fight through it, and sometimes the pain just like it's like on one side of your head, and you don't know what to do. Just try to go to sleep and sleep it off. When you wake up, it's still there. So,
yeah. With me, what I noticed since moving to where I'm at in the South, North Carolina, it's because of the allergies and just a lot of the tree pollen and ragweed and even the flower pollen, I get headaches too. I get migraines, and it affects my frontal and my back area of the head. I guess it's called what the occipital lobe and the frontal lobe and all those fancy
right.
head. But yeah, I don't.
See, I've always had migraines from I was in the Navy when I was stationed in Japan. That's when it started actually. But the
Wow.
allergies, I've never had allergies until I moved to South Florida. When did I move to Florida? 2004. They had to do like a scraping on my back and found out I was allergic to all these things. I was allergic to cats. When I was a kid in Jamaica, I had a cat. I was never allergic to any cats. And then as an adult, now I can't be around any cats. So it's bananas. It's crazy.
Wow, that's interesting how the body's uh, just the dynamic of the body changes as you age. That's really interesting. And I wonder, there's a correlation with food. And I'm not saying that this happened to you, but I'm just wondering if there is in general a correlation of how things change because of the foods that we eat. You mentioned you were stationed in Japan, so I'm sure you were exposed to different foods there compared to the foods that we are exposed to here. Um, so I'm wondering if that's a correlation. We have to do some research for a future show on that.
Yeah, I was stationed in Japan, but then after I went to Japan, I went to Italy and I had no cases of, allergies. And then I came back to the States, went to Maryland, and I was okay with allergies. I didn't have allergies there until I moved to Florida. So I'm like, what's going on with that?
Ah, so listening to you say that, I'm wondering if the environment has something to do with that. It sounds like there's a direct correlation because you said Japan allergies, Italy no allergies, Maryland no allergies, but then
No, no, no,
Florida.
no, 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 no. Japan, I had no allergies at all. I only had the migraines in Japan. That's
Okay,
when it started. The migraines started in Japan, and
okay,
the allergies started in in Florida in 2004. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Wow. Hello, good evening, Chef Maurice. Welcome. Thank you for tuning into Oyandia TV. And to all the viewers and listeners, thank you for tuning in. Shout out to you all for your support.
Hey,
So,
Chef.
yeah, on my end, it's been going good. I've had a great week so far. I actually attended an AI summit. So, shout out to Alice Little. Alice
Hmm.
is considered a renowned AI strategist, entrepreneur, and TEDx speaker with over 2 decades of experience. And I actually learned some interesting tools and techniques regarding AI, right? It's more than the mindset of, hey, AI is here with us. We have to learn how to leverage and live with the fact that AI is here because a lot of companies and businesses, big and small, are using AI tools and techniques. And so, for those who are tuning in, if you're not aware of what AI is, if you're not familiar, I highly recommend you getting acquainted or familiar with how to leverage AI in your daily life because it's one of those things where it's here and it's not going to go anywhere, right?
I mean, it's a good thing if people are using it for good. I mean, like perfect example, right? Today, I saw on Instagram somebody posted a video with these cute little puppies, and they put like, a rug in the middle of the floor, like basically like a camouflage or to portray like it's a hole. And the dogs were coming. They were calling the dogs, and they were coming towards the rug. One of the dogs pick up the other little dog and throw the dog into the hole, but it's not like a real hole. He threw him on the rug. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. I said that dog is not your friend. Stay away. And somebody in the comments they said, that's AI, you goof. I'm like, really? These people are crazy.
Okay, so regardless if it is AI, like, okay, it sounds like they made a funny video for somebody to
Right.
enjoy, right? So I don't see nothing wrong with that. I mean, I can see if they're like exploiting the situation that we're dealing with now, especially with customs or showing something in a negative light. But if it's something that's going to bring somebody joy, I mean, why not? We see those in movies, right? It's no different than what we see on TV and movies. So it's really interesting the amount of people that, based on the circumstance, I feel like they're narrow minded when it comes to just different topics
Yeah,
versus looking at
you
the bigger picture.
for them to be calling people names in the comments is like you have all these bullies, social media bullies, and all these people that because they're behind a keyboard, they can't be held accountable,
Right.
and they just need to stop. You know, and going back, knowing the me now based off the old Nadine, I had to step back and I had to think because I really wanted to say some things. A matter of fact, I think I typed some things and deleted it because going back to my favorite quote, life is 10% of what happened to you and 90% how you react. So I had to go back in my mind and said, hey, now you got to think before you act, because I could have said something really nasty. And one thing I'm not going to do with somebody on social media, I'm not going to do any back and forth with anybody on social media. I will block you first before we get there, because I'm just in a total different space. You know what I mean? So who have time for that?
That's a good point. That's a really good point that you're bringing up. So Nadine,
I
recap.
lost your audio, Yessie.
You can't hear me?
Uh-uh.
Huh. Okay, I'll be right back. Let me see.
Okay, no problem. So while Yessie is getting her audio fixed, I hope everybody is doing well. Chef Maurice, I saw you that giving a shout out to Chef Maurice. He's going to be my chef. That's going to be doing my brunch for my birthday. So check out Celebrity Chef Maurice on Instagram. And if you need to cater an event in Georgia area, then that's who you need to contact.
Okay, can you hear me okay? Testing, testing. On my end, I'm getting sound bars.
Try your settings. Try your audio if it had went off. Let me see.
I'm getting
Okay,
sound bars.
now I could hear you. But that's crazy because I had to change. It was my settings because I had to go into my audio because when we started we were fine, and I had to go in my settings and it switched on its own. So that's crazy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, I
And
don't know what
I'm looking
happened.
at the audio and getting sound bars. The mic is picking me up. So yeah, I'm not sure what's happening. It sounds like we're gonna probably have another deep show today.
Right.
And yeah, especially because we're talking about AI. And so I have a feeling that it's one of those things where it's like, yeah.
Right.
But hey, Nadine, talking about AI. So I created a co-host, a male voice for us, so we can add a fourth co-host to the mix, right? So it'll be me, you, and Cece, and we also have Alex, who's an AI male
Interesting.
voice. So, audience and listeners, Nadine and I had a chance to talk with Alex before logging in, and Nadine was very impressed. And again, shout out to Alice Little, this based on our AI summit, my AI summit that I took with her. I learned a lot of interesting AI tools and techniques, and this was one of them. So I'm going to bring Alex on. So excuse me just a moment. Let's see.
Before you bring Alex on, while you were away, I don't know if the audience could hear me because of my audio. I was giving Chef Maurice a shout out. He's going to be the chef that's doing my birthday brunch. So people need to check out Celebrity Chef Maurice on Instagram, and he will get you right.
So do we have Chef Maurice scheduled to be on with Oyandia?
He is. He is.
So it sounds like Chef Maurice is going to be on in the new year. So we're looking forward to that. Yes. Uh-oh, I'm hearing echo now. I'm not sure why. Okay, well, hey, let's bring on Alex real quick to the mix here. Hey, Alex, are you there? Can you hear us?
Absolutely. I'm still here and I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Just let me know what you need.
Okay, awesome. So introduce yourselves to the viewers and listeners of Oyandia TV. We're actually live on our stream. So I just want to see if you can introduce yourself and then say a little bit about the benefits of leveraging AI.
Absolutely. Hey everyone tuning into Oyandia TV. I'm Alex, your friendly AI co-host. It's great to be here with Yessie and Nadine. So a quick little bit about the magic of AI. We're basically here to help out, offer info in a snap, and make your conversations a little smoother and more fun. So thanks for having me on, and let's have a great show.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Nadine, in audience and listeners.
I'm just glad to be part of the team. If there's anything else you need, just let me know and we'll keep rolling right along.
Nadine, you're on mute, Mama. I can't hear you.
Oh wow, I was saying amazing. And again, my screen just changed on its own to my backdrop. I'm glad I had it up, but I don't know what's going on with this computer. It just changed on its own. But yeah, that's amazing. Alex is amazing. So I'm pretty interested in, having Alex on.
Yes, absolutely. Me too. I'm excited to have an extra layer of conversation. The good thing with AI and Alex is based on the research, again, leveraging AI, based on the prompts that you're entering, they're going to pull reputable sources across the world, right? Because that's what we're here for. We want to make sure that we're providing facts to our audience and listeners, not just something that we're pulling out the air, but this is factual information that's documented, that's recorded, that are witnessed by people. And with that in mind, just the situation that's happening with ICE and in North Carolina. And so with that in mind, I'm not sure if you all heard this week and last week, ICE has been in North Carolina.
I've seen the videos, and one of them, a couple of the officers, I saw a video today, and a couple of the officers, a young lady was out there recording saying that, that's an illegal stop. And they actually pointed the gun at her. I don't know if you saw that video.
No. Mm-hmm. That is horrible. Oh man, I honestly feel like this is really getting out of hand. It's one thing to the original notion or the thought was, okay, we're going to get rid of the criminals and deport them back to their countries. So if you've killed somebody, if you've raped somebody, you're a big criminal, then hey, yes, I agree with that. Like, why are you here doing that to our people? But then you're targeting U.S. citizens or people with green cards that are hardworking, that are trying their best to just provide for their families, and they don't have no criminal records. Like, why? That's heartbreaking, right? It's heartbreaking, especially knowing and understanding the foundation of the United States of America, and especially in the New York area and even across the country. There's a lot of a lot of the foundation of the US of A is built on immigration, people from different countries, not just Mexico, but we have Cuba, in South America, we have Canada, we have France, we have Italy, we have Jamaica, right? We have Africa, different people from different parts of the country. There's many that I haven't named coming together because they want to do better for their family.
And it's a reason in New York they call it the melting pot, because there are people from all walks of life there. So
Absolutely.
for them to be doing this in 2025 is absurd. And the United States is taking a turn to the left, and I don't even want to think about what's to come in the future if all of this is going on now in 2025.
Absolutely. So for those who are just tuning in and listening, if you don't know, there's a federal operation called Operation Charlotte's Web, launched by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, also known as DHS, on November 15th, 2025 in Charlotte, North Carolina. November 15th was just last Saturday, aimed at arresting undocumented immigrants and those with alleged criminal records. Again, alleged criminal records, because at this point we've known that they're arresting people with no records, right? So within the first few days of enforcement, more than 250 arrests were reported across Charlotte and surrounding areas. Operation has also expanded into the Triangle region, Raleigh, Durham, and Cary, and other parts of the state, although details are very vague as of this point. We'll have definitely more information next week. Local officials and law enforcement in Mecklenburg County, also known as the Charlotte area, say that Border Patrol portion of the operation ended, but DHS says it's not over. ICE will continue its enforcements as usual. So why are people upset and concerned? Because community members, they're reporting fear and disruptions. Businesses and immigrant communities closed temporarily. Schools saw lower attendance. Local governments say that they have limited authority to regulate or stop federal immigration operations in North Carolina. However, the legal doctrine of the bill means municipalities can only act where state law gives them power. Some local argue that the enforcement is being used to send a broader message rather than purely targeting serious criminals. Immigrant advocates worry that people who don't have criminal records are getting caught up, or that the chilling effect will push immigrant families further away from civic engagement and public services. So what does this mean for us here? So we've been seeing personal stories, people sharing videos. Nadine just shared an example with us of what's happening. We are seeing daily first people account of their stories. Like I've seen a ton of videos that are heartbreaking, right? Kids, little kids, 3, 4, 5-year-olds crying, upset, heartbreaking because they see their mom and dad being detained. They don't know what's happening.
What about the ones that with the ones that went to the door to that young lady's house and she was saying that she wasn't home? That was terrifying.
I'm glad you brought that up. That actually happened in New Jersey. So that family was away because they were dealing with a loss of a loved one. Immigration or ICE came to their door because they were looking for a certain individual because she had the Ring door camera, which for viewers and listeners, if you don't have a Ring door camera or any type of door camera, I highly recommend that you invest in it, especially in the times we're dealing today across the house. But anyway, so with that, going back to the story, they rang the doorbell. And they were looking for a certain individual. They masked a name for security purposes on this video, but she kept saying that, she was asking, where's your warrant? Why are you here? We're U.S. citizens. You're harassing us. And they were there for at least 10 to 15 minutes trying to get inside her door. They would not provide no warrant, no type of nothing. And they're U.S. citizens, and they were able to prove it later, but even nevertheless, at that point, they weren't even home. They were dealing with the loss of a loved one away from the home. But because she has a Ring doorbell, she was able to speak through the camera. But it's really getting bad. People cars are getting, when they're getting stopped, they're breaking into people's windows, trying to get them out the cars. Like, come on now. This is just
it's crazy. And it's basically, I won't say the full word, but it's terrorism in the United States, transfer that with the T, you know what I mean? But that video, they basically, they were asking her, so why do you have 2 cars in the driveway? I know you're home or whatever the case is. Have you ever heard of people dropping somebody off at the airport, or they're taking an Uber, and then one of the guy was wearing a mask? She's like, why are you wearing a mask? Exactly. If you come to my house, why are you wearing a mask? Because I'm going to call the police and say there's some masked men at my door. And then another one of the female police, I believe she went into her mailbox. That's a federal offense. So are they going to throw out those offenses also? I mean, I'm curious to find out what's going to happen with this case and this young lady, because that's just bananas. And some people, they were saying, oh, that this is AI or whatever. No, it was not.
At all. You can tell that was not AI at all. Nope. I don't believe that was AI at all. This is people's reality.
They were going around the side of her doors. It was probably about 9 guys out there, some at the door, some at the back. They were going around there. One guy was wearing a mask. The other one was just bang. I think at one point, I couldn't see on the camera, but I think it was basically kicking the door, like pounding on the door hard. Like, if I said I'm not home, why are you pounding on my door? Because I could be in Delaware, I could be in Philly, I could be in Jersey, I could be in New York, and somebody comes to my door. I press the button on my camera. Hi, how may I help you? This is technology. This is 2025. So you can't tell me that I'm home when I'm not home.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll be honest, sis, I don't know if you remember me sharing this story with you all before, but that happened. Something similar happened to me. This was a while back before this whole ICE situation happened. When I first moved to where I'm at, apparently they were looking for a certain individual who had the address where I'm at now. And I remember one morning I was getting out the shower and I hear pounding at the door and pounding. And I'm looking out the window and my whole house is surrounded by police officers. And I'm like, what's happening? Like, I'm freaking out because I'm like, okay, is there something serious that I need to be knowing about? So I quickly put my bathrobe on. I run downstairs and open the door. And I'm like, hey, is everything okay? And they're asking for a certain individual. And I'm like, this person does not live here. So I don't know who you're looking for, but that person isn't here. And they were really pushy, like 3 police officers. There was 2 males and a female. There was a slew of cars on, like, parked on the street. Every corner of my house surrounded. Like, it was serious. It looked like a movie scene. And I'm here freaking out because I'm like, what the frick is going on?
But remember some years, Yessie, they had an incident. I don't remember if it was Seattle or somewhere where they had mistaken identity and went into that person's home and shot that guy. Remember?
That's scary. I know. Well, thank God had his hand over me. And I kept my firm, like, yo, whoever you're looking for, because the person that they were looking for, I had no clue who they were, literally. Like, I'm like, who is this person? They kept giving me the name. And I'm like, I'm telling you a gazillion times, I don't know who that person is. And then something clicked in my brain. And I'm like, but first of all, they were adamant about trying to get in my house. And I'm like, well, why do you want to get in my house? Oh, because you might be hiding this person. I'm like, why would I be hiding the person? I was like, I'm a mother. I was like, I have a kid to take care of. I have no time to be hiding nobody. Like, that's not what I'm about. I'm a professional. And I was like, let me see your warrant. They weren't showing a warrant. I'm like, see, you can't get in my house without a warrant. I was like, so until you all show me a warrant of whoever you're looking for that does not live here, then we can talk. But right now, you show me no warrant. You're harassing me. I feel intimidated because all of y'all, they're ganging up on me, and I'm a woman. You all have weapons. Like, it was honestly, I felt really uncomfortable.
Can you imagine if that was today, like in this day and age? Like,
I know. Right.
Oh, Lord Jesus. That's why you gotta pray, keep praying. Just it's crazy out here. It is crazy.
It is. It's bad. So my thoughts and prayers are, I'm sending those to those families affected, because this is tough. People are just trying to do the best that they can. And this is why I always say, sis, the importance of voting the right people in the Senate office and the House of Representatives, because those are these people that are passing these laws.
Because they're bullies and they act like they're part of a gang, and basically that's what they are, a gang with a badge. Most of them. I mean, they do have good, agents out there, but for the most part, I don't know the people that are in charge of them, what messages are they sending down the pipeline, or if these people are just taking it up on them, themselves to do these things solo, because there's no way that this is coming from the top. Like, what kind of leadership do you guys have?
Well, I will say this. So for those who don't know, the Immigration and Custom Enforcement started in 2003 after the whole situation with the 9/11. And
You know,
Go ahead.
it's funny. When I retired, I actually was considering, other than my recruiting job, I was actually considering, you know, law enforcement, not police officer. I was looking into TSA and border patrol and all that stuff. I even started an application. I was like, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go back in uniform. I don't want to do that, And can you imagine? Oh my God.
I know, I know. And you know what? Since we have Alex, our AI, let's ask him that question about the whole ICE situation. How did it start? So he can bring us awareness of this, and then what can people do? Like, because it is passed, what's happening today is enforced by the laws that are passed through the Senate and House of Representatives. So we'll ask him that. Hey, Alex, are you there with us?
Absolutely. I'm right here. Just let me know what you need and we'll keep things rolling.
Yeah. So tell us how did the ICE or immigration custom enforcements begin? And is it true that this is part of the laws that are passed by the Senate and the House of Representatives?
Yeah, absolutely. So MICE, or Immigration and Customs Enforcement, got its start back in 2003. It was created as part of the Department of Homeland Security after the 9/11 attacks, basically to handle immigration enforcement and border security. And yet, a lot of the rules and funding for ICE do come from laws passed by Congress, including the Senate and House of Representatives. So it's definitely tied into the legislative process.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're totally welcome. Glad I could help break it down a bit. If you've got any more questions or need more info for the show, just let me know, and I'm here to keep the conversation flowing.
Okay, so Nadine, did you hear Alex?
I did. That's crazy.
Right. So what does that tell us? That tells us that the people, because a lot of people are not voting in midterm elections, people are quick to vote for the president. And I get he has a certain amount of power, but the power really relies on the Senate and the House of Representatives. This is why it's very, 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 very important for people to go out and vote during midterm elections, because these are the people representing the states. These are the people that are not only representing the states, but they're representing what's happening today because they're voting this into action. And we've heard it firsthand.
Mm.
So
I'm
it's one of
clutching
those
my imaginary pearls, honey.
You are funny. Yes, yes, yes. So again, my thoughts and prayers are going out to those who are affected. I know this is tough, and just you know, I really don't know what to say other than just stay prayed up for those who have your paperwork. Make sure to carry your passports and birth certificates, what have you, because they're stopping people that look like us.
That's too many crazy things are going on in this world and in the news. And I know there's another topic. I don't know if you have time before you bring the guest on, about the young lady who got
Mhm.
jumped by a bunch of kids.
Let's talk about it. Our guest hasn't logged back in, so they may be having technical issues, but we can keep going until he comes on. Yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about that topic.
Yeah, so there was a young lady, I believe it happened in Chicago. When I saw the video, oh my gosh. I
Mhm.
I couldn't even imagine that could be your sister, your mom, your niece, your aunt. She had I don't know how many, because there were so many kids out there. I know I saw one little boy she was holding. I don't know if she had multiple kids she was walking with, but a bunch of middle school kids jumped this lady and her kids.
Mhm. Right.
Can
That's
you
really.
imagine, what would you do if you were in that situation?
Ooh, wait. Ooh.
And those are kids. What, I mean, they jumped her, pulled her wig off, took her phone, was dragging the kids, calling her little boy names. That is crazy to me.
Very. I absolutely agree. That's. Ooh, I honestly, since that question that you just asked about what would you do in that situation, I mean,
And here's
I
the thing.
watched the video too. And I saw some red flags that she should have caught on, like the way they were talking to her. Right, they were having like a little sassy mouth. you know, in a situation like that, what I would have done is either cross the street or started recording right away on my own cell phone to say, hey, whose baby kids are these?
There were probably about 15 to 20 kids out there. Would it been justified if that lady started swinging on? It would have been a whole total different story if that lady started to swing on these kids. What the parents had, probably would have been coming for her. Would it be justified if she had done that?
Mm-mm. No, because she's an adult and they're minors.
No. A bunch of kids. I mean, I love kids, but if you're grown enough to try to come up to me and jump me, a bunch of y'all, one or two of you guys, I'm gonna be like, step away. But if a group of kids come in to try to jump me, uh, there are gonna be consequences.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And for those who are not familiar with the story of what Nadine has just shared, this happened in Chicago. So you are correct. South side of Chicago, South Deering. Monday, the 18th of November. So this is a few days back. At 3:10 p.m., a 33-year-old mother and her 9-year-old son were walking home in the South Bensley Avenue block, just blocks from Orville Bright Elementary School, when a group of kids and teenagers, or children and teenagers, approached and attacked them. This is according to Fox 32 Chicago. So the video footage shows a mother trying to shield her children. So for those who have not watched the video, it's hard to watch, but I mean, we're dealing with in the world today, unfortunately. She was being dragged down to the ground, pushed into the grass, repeatedly struck. And not only that, she's also pregnant. She is also a pregnant mother. And so you can see her shielding her son. So, it is heartbreaking. And this leads to this question here that I'm about to ask. And I have my thoughts about this. I feel that the parents of those kids should be held accountable, should be sued, and should be held accountable. Like, they should be paying the price, because these are your kids beating up on somebody else. Like, this is what's a learned behavior, either at home or whether it be at school. They're learning this from somewhere.
And here's the thing, the parents are coming after the fact. Yeah. Mind you, some of them probably, didn't know that their child, they were acting in such a manner, or whatever the case is. But I think they only came back on to justify the situation after the community went to the school, try to hold them accountable. And she's saying in the video, one of the parents, she was saying in the video that, I'm not allowing her to speak because, she's a child. Wasn't she a child when she was committing these crimes?
That part. The same way those 3 kids in Ohio, remember what they did to that young 5-year-old girl, the 8, the 9, and the 10-year-old? This is happening too often. Something is happening, sis.
They know better, because whether they're getting the information from watching a video on social media, on YouTube, or whatever the case is, if they act upon it, they know right from wrong. They do. But you can't be crying in front of a camera now just because people are trying to hold you accountable. And then, like I was saying, if it was the other way around, what would the person do? The kids, what I was about to say. Yeah, that little girl, she was talking with her mom. She was crying, but I didn't see one tear coming down her eye.
I didn't see one tear coming down her eye either, to be honest with you.
Not one tear. And the lady was like, I'm not going to have her speak because she's a child and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Oh, really?
No.
You know what I mean? So, it's just disheartening to watch. It's crazy, man.
I will say this. Being a parent myself, sis, is one of those things where it's like you have to pay attention to your kids. And I understand that you can't, be there in every corner, but you got to pay attention to the body language, to what they're watching, the friends that they acquaint themselves with, right? The circle. And if you're noticing that there's a bad influence happening, pull them away. They should not be in that area or with those supposed friends, because again, that's a learned behavior, impressionable behavior. Right now, those individuals are being followers. They're not being leaders. And that's what we need more in this world. We need more leaders, not followers. There's too many people following.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's just one of those things where it's like it's no, this can't continue to happen.
And you know, in other situations not pertaining to this one, you know, you see different videos, different kids doing different things, and people in the comments, oh, that's cute, oh, she's just a child. If you don't nip it in the butt now, then later on it's going to be a problem, like it was a problem for that lady and her kids.
Food for thought.
They think it's
Absolutely.
cute now when they're young, but when they get to a certain age, you don't think it's cute now when you get in a lawsuit slapped on you for your child doing something that could have been prevented if you had nipped it in the bud at home.
Preach that part right there. That part right there. Yes. Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. These kids, from when they're born through the age of 18, as a parent, it is your responsibility to show them right from wrong. And that's another scary part and I say this in a cautious manner, right? Because zooming out in the big picture, a lot of kids, a lot of adults now, they still have that little kid mentality. So
Mhm.
then numerically, you could be an adult, but mentally, you still can be a little kid, right? So it's one of those things where it's like I've said before, what I advocate for is doing those tests to say to an individual to say, hey, before you become a parent, are you mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially able to be a parent? Because this takes a lot from you to become a parent. It's not just about laying down with a man or a woman, you're having sex or what have you. Okay, but then the consequences of that is now she gets pregnant or you get pregnant as a woman. Now what? Right? There's other things that come after the fact because now you become a parent. And for those who are not prepared to become a parent, this is a big responsibility. That's why I waited into my mid 30s to become a parent because I understood that concept because people spoke to me and said, hey, Yessie, being a parent is tough. Make sure that you're ready to be a parent. And I took that advice. I said, yes, I'm going to make sure that I'm ready to be a parent because I understand. I observed other people's pros and cons, the good, the bad, the ugly, so to speak, right? And I absorbed that. And so I say that to say for you all who are watching, if you are if you feel like you're ready to be a parent, make sure that you really, really, truly are ready to be a parent. Not only you, but your partner or whoever it is that you're with, because it's a serious, serious commitment, and it comes with a lot of responsibility. And also, it's about you're becoming a mentor, a role model to your child. You have to show them the good and the bad, especially what's happening with this world today. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Something
All
gotta
right.
give, man, because they'll get like a belt to their booties. You gotta start walking around with a belt in your car.
Honestly, this is one of those things where it's like that old saying, the hurt people hurt people.
Hmm.
And, years ago, a good amount of people got pregnant. They were young and underage. They didn't know any better. And now they're adults numerically, but mentally they're still not quite there. And now they got pregnant and they're trying to teach a kid and they don't know any better. And then that cycle continues. At what point does it stop?
They're a product of their environment.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's exactly what I was trying to say. So thank you for saying that. It looks like our guest is on. So we're going to transition over to our special guest. Nadine, did you want to introduce our guest or would you like me to do that?
I can.
Okay. Yep. Go for it whenever you're ready.
Let me pull it up right here. One moment.
No problem at all. So, yes, for those who are watching, listening, thank you all for tuning into Oyandia TV. You can actually catch past episodes on YouTube, Facebook. There's different platforms that we're on: RSS, Spotify, Amazon Music, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Instagram, iHeartRadio, Podcast Addict, Podcast Index, Podverse, Deezer, Fountain, True Fans, YouTube, and Raphonic. While Nadine gets that together, I'm going to go ahead and transition over to a quick commercial break for us. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back with Oyandia TV.
All right. I got it.
At Cab Zenza, we believe beauty is a ritual, not just a routine. Rooted in intention and inspired by nature, our skincare is crafted to nourish more than just the skin. It nourishes the spirit. Every jar is made with purpose. Because when you flourish inside, it shows on the outside. Cab Zenzas isn't skincare, soul care.
From the moment that I put this Cab Zenza on my skin, it feels most amazing. As you can see, it has your skin glistening, it's moisturizing. You too should get Cab Zenza.
Luxurious body butters.
All right, so the holidays are knocking at our door, and if you have no idea what to get anybody a gift, Cab Zenza, come on now, we don't want to be walking around ashy, right? Because winter is here. We got to stay hydrated, and Cab Zenza will help you get that hydrated, glowing skin that you desire. So make sure to order your Cab Zenza today. All right, so let's go ahead and transition over to our guest.
Yes. So we're about to bring on Mr. Timothy Levi, otherwise known as Mr. Dyvrse, and this stage name. And he was born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. Dyvrse began his musical journey at the age of 12, singing alongside his older brothers. Music runs deep in his family. All of his siblings sing, but Dyvrse stands out with a voice and vision all of his own. A passionate singer, songwriter, and content creator, Dyvrse uses R&B as a vessel to express emotion, personal stories, and unforgettable moments. His sound blends heartfelt lyricism with soulful melodies, capturing the highs and the lows of life with authenticity and grace. Deeply grounded in his faith, Dyvrse is driven by the higher purpose to be a positive, to be a positive voice for people from all walks of life, aiming a lasting impact wherever his sound is heard. And let's welcome our guest, Mr. Dyvrse.
Welcome to Hoy en Día TV. Bienvenidos. Oh, I can't really hear you. Can you hear him?
You sound a little bit low there. Turn your volume up or something.
A little bit. We're going to try to straighten.
Yeah, it's a little bit low.
Okay. Well, while you get that together, Nadine and I can continue to chat.
Yeah. Does the guest have settings in their background area to work with like we do? Yesy?
He's putting out his Bluetooth. Let's see if that'll help.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's connecting the settings. But hey, I mean, this is what technology is. It happens. I mean, it happens to all of us. It happens to me. It happens to you. It's just one of those things where it's like nothing is perfect, but it's all good. We're going to continue going on with the flow because that's what we do at Hoy en Día TV. All right, so he's getting himself together. So we're going to jump over to another quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Sponsored by Collective Wear. Available at www.yessirodriguez.com/shop and myrod-enterprise.com/shop.
Sponsored by Divine Beauty and Accessories. Watch Hoy en Día TV, Thursdays, 7:30 p.m.
A bold builder of people, purpose, and platforms, Girls with Gigs helps high performers and those desiring to achieve more shift mindsets and activate purpose. Whether it's career or leadership development, personal branding, or knowing your worth, in the job market, transformation has never been closer because this is where purpose meets action and dreams become destiny. Book your free consultation today at www.girlswithgigs.com.
Are you ready to slay the scene and the runway? Calling all aspiring actors and models, this is your moment to shine. Join our powerhouse acting and modeling beginners workshop and unlock the confidence, skills, and presence you need to dominate the stage, runway, and the camera. Learn from industry pros, hands-on modeling and acting experience. Build your portfolio craft, perfect for beginners. Registration is now open. Sign up at jesserodriguez.com/powerhouse-workshop. We look
Dream, explore, discover with Nadine's Travel Oasis. Your next adventure is just a booking away. From breathtaking beaches to vibrant cityscapes, we handle the details so you can make the memories. Luxury, leisure, or last-minute getaways, we've got you covered. Book today and let Nadine's Travel Oasis take you places.
All right, so we've given you a good amount of options for the holidays. Christmas is knocking at the door. If you don't know what to gift someone, and not even for Christmas, whether it be an anniversary, a birthday, etc., we have some creative options here to think outside the box and not just stick with a good old gift card. I mean, don't get me wrong, gift cards are good, but sometimes it's good to think outside the box, right? Think a little different. So we have Nadine's Travel Oasis, we have Girls with Gigs, we have Collective Wear, we have Divine Beauty, we have Cap Zenza, we have a little bit of this and that, sazón sofrito de todo un poco. So it's time to think outside the box. Order today, register today, right? All right, looks like our guest still hasn't logged on yet. I was going to bring him back on to see him going in and out. So it sounds like he might be having some technical issues. We might have to bring him on for next time because we're running close to the end of the show soon here. So, yeah. So while he gets himself together, I'm going to bring some. I've realized that November has different types of awareness months. I'm not sure if you're aware, sis. November is National Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month, which raises awareness about dementia, caregiving, early signs, and supports resources. The National Family Caregivers Month, which honors the millions of those caring for the loved ones with different disabilities, chronic illnesses, age-related conditions, etc. We also have Native American Heritage Month, celebrates Native American history, culture, contributions, and ongoing advocacy issues. Epilepsy Awareness Month that focuses on the education, seizure, first aid, and stigma reduction. National Diabetes Month covers both type 1 and type 2 diabetes prevention, management, and education. National Adoption Awareness Month, which highlights adoption from a foster care family perspective. It provides family resources and importance of permanency. Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month focuses on early detection symptoms and supporting families affected. And COPD Awareness Month educates about chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, risk factors, and treatments. So November has a lot of awareness months, which is pretty interesting.
Wow, that's a lot.
Absolutely. I will say this. Alzheimer's Awareness Month really resonates with me because I do, my family, there has been some loved ones that were affected by Alzheimer's. And then also with the DJ Stupian Films production, I had the opportunity since 2022 to present, to travel to different parts of the country and bring awareness with the stage plays Unforgettable about the importance of early signs and detection, especially with Alzheimer's. So early signs and detections is definitely key with understanding the actual Alzheimer's illness.
Right. Wow.
Do any of those resonate with you, Nadine? That I just mentioned to you?
Not personally. I mean, I've only had family member, with cancer, but I mean, I don't know. I think that's a form of cancer.
You said that they've had cancer or no?
Yeah, they have.
They've had, gotcha. Okay, good to know. It looks like our guest is on. We're going to bring him on. So let's see. Hopefully his audio is good. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you. I'm not sure if y'all can hear me still. I'm trying to connect
Okay. Yeah. You have your Bluetooth in or no? Huh? Is your Bluetooth plugged in, or are you using your phone, right?
I can't hear him for some reason.
Yeah, we can't hear you at all. Yeah. He said he's gonna try it from another phone or something.
Okay. All right, sounds good. I'll bring you behind the scenes then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, this happens, right? This is what happens in the podcast and media world. Unexpected things happen in the agenda.
Technology.
Right.
That's
Nothing
great.
is ever perfect and it's all good. It is a-okay. No problem.
So let's talk about these 2 for $5 cucumbers that I saw in the supermarket. Like I'm gonna have to start a garden in my backyard, lady, because there's no way I'm paying. Listen, no cucumbers. You said in Jamaica we call it cucumber, but there's not gonna be any cucumbers in my salad. There's not gonna be any cucumbers in my lemon water. Okay, they're gonna stay right there.
That's horrible. So the 2 for $5 for just a cucumber, when back in the day they used to be like 50 cents, $1.
Sometimes I've seen 3 for $1. Remember those days?
Yes, I do. It's wow. It's really, really interesting. Nadine, I think that's an interesting topic for us to talk with Alex about, like what's causing our foods to grow up in price. Like I want to know. Let's see what Alex says.
Yes, let's talk to Mr. Alex about that.
Alex, are you there with us? Alex, are you there with us?
Sure am. I'm right here, ready whenever you are. Just let me know what you need and we'll keep things moving smoothly.
Yeah, so Nadine shared that in her local supermarket, she came across cucumbers that were 2 for $5, but back in the day they were a lot cheaper. So help us understand what exactly is happening with our food. Like, why are they so expensive? It's really challenging for a lot of families now to even afford food.
Absolutely. It's definitely a complex issue. A lot of factors come into play when it comes to rising food prices. For instance, we've got inflation, which affects everything from transportation costs to the price of labor. There are also supply chain disruptions, weather events that impact crops, and sometimes even changes in agricultural policy. All these factors combined can definitely drive prices up. It's definitely challenging for families, and it's a topic that impacts a lot of communities.
What would be your recommendation for families who are finding themselves in that situation? What would be food for thought or something that they can do to help be able to provide food for their families?
That's a great question. One helpful approach is to explore local food assistance programs like food banks or community kitchens, which can really help bridge the gap. Another tip is to plan meals around seasonal and local produce, which tends to be more affordable. Also, bulk buying and meal prepping can help cut costs, and even growing some veggies at home if possible can make a big difference. Lastly, staying informed about discounts, coupons, and community resources can really help families stretch their budgets further.
Nadine, did you have any questions for Alex?
I know what a fix is. We will grow our own crops or bring back the Mexican farmers. That's it.
Absolutely,
Go ahead, Alex.
For sure. It's definitely about combining local solutions with community support. Growing your own food or supporting local farmers can definitely help make fresh produce more accessible and affordable. It's all about creating those sustainable, community-driven solutions. And if you have any more ideas or any info, I'm always here to help.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Alex is so pleasant. I like him.
Nadine says she approves of you. She likes you.
That's so awesome to hear. I'm really glad to be a part of the team and help out. I'm always here whenever you need me, and I'm excited for all the fun and insightful conversations ahead.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So for those who are wondering, who is Alex? Alex is our new AI fourth member of the team, co-host. So AI will be leveraged or applied when one of the co-hosts are not here. And who knows, you might see the 4 of us here together, right? And that's just an initiative that OND is striving for, is because of the times that are changing. Technology is here, especially with AI. Technology is changing. We're trying to leverage and stay up with the times, right? We have to.
You mean the 5 of us?
Who's the 5? Who?
Me, you, Cece, and AI.
But that's
oh my god! Oh my god! I'm tripping, girl.
Man, that's how confused I was. Like, we have
you know what I think it is? I was counting the screens. I was doing this 1, 2, 3. See.
That was funny, sis. I got to give it to you. That was hilarious. You got me there for a second. At least like our guest was able to join back on. So let's see. Hopefully his audio is good to go. Let's see. Hello.
Hey, is that better?
That is 100% better.
Yay, we got it fixed. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good. You know how technology is. You okay?
You are okay. We're glad that you were able to join us. So welcome to Hoy en Día TV. Bienvenidos.
I'm glad to be here. It's an honor.
Yes. So tell us, Nadine earlier, she read a amazing bio, a robust bio of your background. But in a nutshell, who do you say that you are?
Oh, well, I agree with the background, but very passionate, very aware of what's going on around the world, and very sincere, very family oriented, big on dreams, big on achievement, and just big on the freedom of expressing your emotions and feelings, in spite of the backlash or the negativity you can get from it. But a lot of people needs to learn how to be in a comfortable space to express themselves. And sometimes we care too much about other people's opinion that we sugarcoat things. So, I'm free to do what I feel I need to do, and to express myself in the form I feel I need to.
Awesome. Yes, definitely. So taking us back to St. Louis and your upbringing, what really sparked your journey into music at such a young age?
So, to be honest, I didn't even know I could sing. My brothers had his girlfriends over, and I was in the background singing, and they all came out, was like, "Oh my God, you can sing! Oh my God, you can sing!" And so I went to school. I was like, "I'm gonna try this out," and I started singing. And ever since then, people was like, "Oh, you got a good voice. You can sing." And we could feel the emotion. And so I kind of started diving in more with that once I got encouraged to do it, because I wasn't aware of the gift or the talent. My mind wasn't even on singing at the time, and so that's how I kind of started singing.
That is awesome. So I hear an accent there. It sounds like a Georgia, Atlanta accent. Is that currently where you're finding yourself in the southern Georgia area?
Well, nah, I'm from St. Louis, but I got bloodline in Mississippi.
Okay.
And so you may be hearing that and that country sound from St. Louis, that little accent that we have. I don't hear it, but people say I have it. So you're hearing that, but most of my life I've been in St. Louis.
Okay, awesome. But that is amazing. Nadine, your questions before I continue to ask mine.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, pretty dope. I'm glad that I met you and you came on the show. That's amazing. More people need to see and hear more of you. So my question is, so your music blends emotional storytelling, right, and soulful R&B. So can you share a personal experience that shaped your sound or inspired one of your most meaningful songs?
Wow. For me, every song is meaningful. I do make fun records, but every song means something to me. So it's basically me picking out one of my favorite songs. So I think I wrote a song called "It's Me," and this song for me, it was expressing on how I was raised and the outlook of what people had on me, and then the process of transitioning and achieving my own goals. And so from there, I expressed that, and I think that came from losing friends, or people thinking you backstabbing them, or following the trend that they following, and then lost to my grandmother. So that kind of triggered that for me right there, and I just wrote it. So
Awesome. Okay. And you also mentioned that you're being grounded in faith. Faith is important. I mean, I don't know, a lot of people don't have the same faith or backgrounds that we do, as Christians. But you mentioned being grounded in faith and wanting to inspire people from all walks of life, right? So what message do you hope listeners take away from your music, and how does your purpose guide your creative journey moving forward?
So one of the biggest things to be able to express yourself, the biggest thing I take from the Bible is that they that worship me must worship me in spirit and truth. And a lot of times we had our true heart. I went through the phase of doing things because people thought it was great or this how you should do it. And in my heart, I didn't like it. And I understand that God judges the motive of our heart. And in that area, it's just like, I want to be truthful with my relationship with God. I want to express who I am and how I feel about it and let him do the work, or let him help me change and not take the credit for his doing what he done in my life and the change. And sometimes we change by false pretense. We change because somebody else asked us to change. And I really just hope people see that, like, he's there. He loves you no matter what you do. He's there in your mess ups. He's there when you're great. He's there when you're not great. And that's why he came to help us in our imperfection. We are all striving to be perfect, but we're not perfect. And unfortunately, I believe that we may not be perfect until that day we go meet him. So in the process, we just learn from the falls. And I just know every big achiever that people look up in the world, they went through a lot of downfalls, but the key is they kept going, they kept the faith, and that's the same with me. And they was able to express themselves. And I think if more people was able to stand up and express themselves, it may change a lot of things that we deal with in the world.
Absolutely. I'm a believer. As an author, I'm a believer. Well, I didn't even think about all this stuff before I became an author, right? So I always say that, everybody has a story to tell, and you're sharing it through your music. So if you could encourage one person to at least, share their stories, that's amazing.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. I love that thought. And so you mentioned earlier with your music and just growing and evolving, you lost people, you lost friends, right? Or people you thought were your friends. For those who find themselves in a similar situation where they're seeing success and they're growing in their craft, what food for thought would you share with them about that journey? Because it's tough when you feel like you have somebody that's truly there and all of a sudden they're no longer there because they're just not meant to be a part of that journey.
I would say, it took the moment for me to be really dedicated to presenting my craft. In that it takes time. So now you got to cut out. I can't do this. I can't spend as much time with you as I used to. I can't be here because I'm focused on this. And in that process, some people will, feel like you changed up or you too busy. And be consistent and put in the work to present what you're trying to present. Don't just skip over it, skim coat it. Like, give it your all, and you'll see the results of it. And along the way, when you're really pursuing your career or whatever you're trying to present, gotta move the people out of the way. The people that's stuck in place, because when you begin to get into that, you begin to move, and some people don't move with you. I think Eric Thomas said it the best. You owe yourself an explanation. You can't blame no one else. When you go to Walmart and you buy something, if the product is not right, you going back to get your money. Why we don't hold ourselves accountable like that? If I don't present what I need to give you properly, I owe myself an explanation. If I failed, I need to rebuke myself because I didn't put in the time, the practice to present this craft the best way I could. So work on your skills and your gift and make sure you give your best and don't let nobody distract you. And the ones that's supposed to be with you will support you and understand. The ones that's not supposed to be, that don't supposed to be with you, will get moved out the way.
Exactly. Everybody have their own village. And, my thing is, people are in your lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what would you say would be your biggest, so this is a two-part question, your biggest challenge and your biggest accomplishment that you've experienced?
Oh man, that's a good question. But I believe trying to manage life while you pursue this career as an artist, because it comes sacrifices, and sometimes the sacrifice you make, your close ones may not agree with it, or it just sometimes it's tough. It's a lot to gamble to be able to pursue the dream you have and be mindful of family and loved ones and children. And sometimes people may feel like you put them on a back burner. What was the second question?
So the first one is your challenges and then your proudest accomplishment.
Oh, accomplishments. I feel, I've been traveling, was able to get on the radio, was able to get placement on the NFL, was able just to make so many connections, radio play, and learning the business of my craft. One of my biggest, I think before they see the music, one of the biggest things as an independent artist, learn my business. And people be shocked about that. And sometimes we just do music and put it out, but we don't understand about royalties and the business behind the licenses and agreements and things like that. So I think that's one of my biggest accomplishments also, because I know my business, and that's great. It helps you to know your business, So yeah, I think that's one of the biggest accomplishments, because it would have been easy for me to get, well, not easy, but even though I was placed on the NFL as a commercial in the Housewives, if my business wasn't together, I would have never seen the fruit of it. It's like I'm doing labor in vain. I couldn't see the fruit of it. And because I took the time and didn't think that I would miss the mark and take time to learn the business, now when goals and things happen or achievement happen, I'm able to see the fruit from it and can be happy for the sacrifices I did make. So, yeah.
Yep. They always say you reap what you sow, right?
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's amazing. That's awesome. I have one. Yessie, were you finished with your questions?
Once you're done with yours, I'll ask my other one.
Okay, yeah. So my question is, and I don't know if this is a question Yessie is gonna ask, but when you were ready to step out in your music, right? How did you come up with Dyvrse?
Well, it was a group effort. Shout out to a couple of my people, Vivid Core, and we worked on it because I didn't want to be put in one category. Because when you write from your emotions, it's seeing the music industry, we stick to genres, our sound. If you just a hip hop R&B artist, or you could do pop, we switch up a lot. And so I wanted to be able to express my emotions, but I wanted the people to understand where I was coming from. I didn't want them to think I'm just switching up and I'm doing this type of sound, now I'm doing this type of sound. I write from the emotions. And so I believe that music is the soundtrack of your life. Just like you could go somewhere and you could play a nice Chris Brown love song. It puts you in the mode. But then you could play another song from, another artist, Tory Lane, and it puts you in a certain type of mode. So music, the vibes, sometimes can shape your character, your mental, or how you feel in that moment. So I didn't want to be put in a space where I just had to, my fans only want this from me. I want them to know, hey, he could put this out, or he could do this. And that's why Dyvrse come from, because, our emotions move up and down. One day we happy, so I want to be able to write about being happy. One day I may be mad. Let me write about being mad. One day I just want to have fun. Let me write about being fun. One day I want to talk about my faith, how God blessed me. Let me talk about it. Don't put me in one category. And so that's why I came up with Dyvrse.
I love that. It sounds like Oyandia. Oyandia is about life, right? We're here to motivate, inspire, enlighten, educate, and entertain the viewers and listeners. And the niche of Oyandia podcast is life, la vida. The life is up and down, good and bad, different shades of color. So it sounds like we have something in common here, Dyvrse. I mean,
well, that's good to hear.
Yeah,
right.
that's awesome.
Yeah. You don't want to be put in a bubble,
Yeah, them bubbles are tragic.
So when somebody's vibing to your music, what is the type of feeling that you want them to feel? What would you expect? Like, let's say, for example, a person who's never heard your music and then listening to it for the first time, what is something that you really want them to feel or vibe? What mood do you want them to be in?
So I don't know if I can say it's
Oh.
Did we lose him?
It looks like we lost them.
Oh, no.
I know we're having such a juicy conversation.
Yes. Technology.
Hey, something is happening. I'm convinced something is happening.
I told you the back of my thing. Didn't you see it changing on its own, going back to my blue screen? And
I did.
I'm like, what is going on here? The devil is a liar. I'm telling you that now. Every time we start talking about God, it's trying to come.
Have you noticed that? Yes, I've noticed. Oh, he's back. Okay, yeah, I've
We
noticed that
see
too.
we see our other lovely co-host, Miss Cece, in the comments. We miss you, honey. We miss you.
That's right. Shout out to Dr. Cece, the actionist. We miss you for sure. Yes.
Yes, I'm
That's
sorry about that. Like, the call
you're
came through, and I didn't know how to get back on once the call came through. It just paused. What was the last question you asked me?
so the vibe. So when somebody who's not familiar with your music, they're first listening to it, what is the feeling that you would expect or would want them to feel when they're listening to your music? Like, what do you expect from them?
I think my music is very direct. If you listen to the lyrics, that mode I was in on that song, that's the vibe. It's no hidden message. It's no.
Okay.
It's just it is what it is. If it's first move and I got a song called First Move. Who's gonna make the first move? It's talking about who's gonna make the first move. The song Trust Your Gut. It's talking about trusting your gut, and so I write about the topic. So it just depends. But listen to the lyrics. You're gonna like the beat. So just listen to the lyrics and you can pick your vibe in that moment.
Okay, awesome. Nadine, what's the question?
Maybe we need to hear a little piece.
Sure, yeah. What y'all want me to play one?
Go for it. If you want to sing one live, I mean, whatever feels
live, it's up to you.
Oh, sing one live. How'd the audio sound? Let me see. One of my songs that I would sing. So we just dropped another song. Let me do this. I wasn't prepared for that. I can sing a song though.
Nadine put you in the spotlight.
she put me in the light, but I was not, honestly, because I got so many songs. And
come on, you're a singer. That's given. You know we're probably gonna ask you, man.
I know. Yes, I know. I knew that question would come up. I knew that part would come up. So just gonna see what song I would just want to sing. Oh my God, my mind went blank. So I'm gonna sing a cover tune. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. Wow, I should be able to sing one of my songs. That's crazy. I picture you and me starting a life together. We could be. Let's take this vow and love one another. Make this thing a reality. Is it real? Y'all know the song. That's that, So that's
okay.
This is one of them. So, well, it's not my song.
Well,
say it again.
Thanks for the sample song.
Yeah, it wasn't my song though. It wasn't my song. But shout out to Jagged Edge. So.
Great job.
Talking about Jagged Edge, I love me some Jagged Edge, and I love me some 112. So oldie but goodie, yes.
Wait, I know this is off topic before I forget because it was embedded in my mind, and I don't know if Yessie saw it because we look at each other's stories. But did you see Ray J?
No, I haven't Ray J.
There was this lady. She makes fun of like anybody on the internet that does things, and she was mimicking him. He was in a concert or something, and just he had his shirt off, and just the way he was carrying on, it was just diverse. Have you seen that video?
Yeah, I've seen it.
So it sounds like he was
I think the lady that mimicked him, she's a comedian or something.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but I seen the video of what you're describing. I seen the video of Ray J. Yes, I think a lot of people seen it.
I think he probably had like a mental breakdown or something.
I don't know.
This video.
He was in his moment. He was in his element. Let me say that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch this video that you're talking about, sis, because I didn't watch it, but it sounds interesting, especially if it's a little chuckle and the Dyvrse just did there. It's like,
but it's not so much him. It's like the girl who was mimicking him.
Oh, she did a good job. Yeah.
She
It was
did.
hilarious. She painted her picture. Yeah. So
Yes, yeah,
Wow.
I'll find it and I'll drop it to you in the group. It was hilarious.
I
I
would love
was laughing at Ray J. I was laughing at her because it was crazy.
I love that. Yes. So Diverse, what is next for you and your music? What can people expect and where can they find you?
okay, so you can find me on all platforms. DYVRSE is the same on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. My next thing, I've started the Southern Soul Move. So I sing with I name Archbishop. We call ourselves them boys. Well, I still do R&B, but we got a show coming up in KC on the 23rd. Then on the 30th, I'll be in Texas performing. We just dropped a new single called What I Want. Them boys, DEMBOIZ. But and then Dyvrse is on all platforms. I'm a music out. My single for Dyvrse is First Move. And yeah, it's everywhere. Spotify, Apple, iTunes, and I mean everywhere. So and that's what's next. So if you in KC, make sure you come out and check us out on the 23rd. And in Texas, Houston, Texas. It's gonna be fun. So we got a lot of stuff coming up.
So I will say this, not to be funny, but there's a lot of acronyms that exist in this world. So KC is Kansas City, right?
Yes, Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay, just want to make sure because there's a lot of acronyms for different stuff.
I thought that in the middle of my head because I'm Jamaican. We have a Kingston College, but I know it wasn't that.
Got you. Yes, Kansas City, Missouri. Yes.
Okay, Kansas City, Missouri. Yes.
And then
Okay.
Houston, Texas. So it's a civil bar, and I'm loving this Southern Soul stuff. I gotta throw my cowboy hat on and boots and hit the little line dance. And we just got a video that a young lady Janelle did a dance to, and it kind of went viral. So it's very nice, and that's my same name on TikTok, DYVRSE.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll follow you then on there.
I appreciate it. I sure subscribe to your channel and following y'all. So I really appreciate the opportunity. And hopefully we can get Archbishop on one day and you can meet them boys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, definitely.
The new year, let's bring you and Archbishop on, the boys, for sure.
Oh, okay. Appreciate it.
So Nadine.
No, I don't have.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't have any other questions.
Okay, so we're going to transition over to our last minute words. So this is an opportunity for you to pretty much say anything. This is your last minute words. If you want to share a quote, if you want to share your social media where people can find you, follow you, etc., this is the opportunity to do so. And so for you to kind of get a glimpse as to how that looks, we're going to have Nadine lead us off. Dyvrse will go second, and I'll close out the show for Oyendia.
Okay.
All right, here we go. So as you guys know, my name is Nadine Barton, the author, Nadia B_1202 on Instagram. You can follow me there. If you like to get copies of my books, you could go to Nadine Barton, NadeanBarton.com, to my website. And if you'd like to get some nice luxurious body butters, you could go to Cab Zenza. The holidays are coming. That's a nice stocking stuffer. So go to CABZENZAH.com and get your stocking stuffers for the holidays. And as everybody know, Nadine Barton, and I'm a travel agent, author, and retired Navy veteran. And like I always say, my quote is, life is 10% of what happened to you and 90% of how you react. Because now, I don't know if it's something in the air with the holidays, people out here acting crazy. So just take a step back and think before you react. So that's it for me.
Okay. My name is Timothy Byrd, but I go by the name Dyvrse. That's the artist name, DYVRSE. You can find me on any platform, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, at DYVRSE. Music is available on any platform. You just got to type in DYVRSE. And then, just stay encouraged. Keep going. Make sure God is the center of everything you do. Build a nice foundation. Stay focused, and you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. Just keep him first.
I love that. Yes. So thank you all for tuning into another amazing episode, otro episodio de Hoy en Día TV. We've had, a lot of juicy conversations, a lot of juicy topics here, an amazing guest. But guess what? This is what life is all about. Ups and downs, good and bad, right? That's what we're here for Hoy en Día TV, because our goal is to positively motivate, enlighten, inspire, educate, and entertain you, the viewer and listener, with each and every episode. And I know we did that today because, hey, we were able to introduce an amazing guest, Dyvrse, and our new fourth co-host, AI, Alex. So, hey, I mean, that's what we're here for. We're going to keep it fresh and we're going to keep it moving forward with the times because, hey, this is life. Life is going to keep pushing forward. And that's what it is. It gets a little uncomfortable at times, but you got to keep pushing. You got to go roll with the punches, right? Because esa es la vida. Así es como la vida. Tienes que vivir la vida. You got to live the life. And so with that in mind, shout out to all the sponsors of Hoy en Día TV. I played the commercials earlier during our mid-break here. But again, great stocking stuffers like Nadine mentioned earlier. So Nadine's Body Butter, Cab Zenza. Also, we have collective wear. We have girls with gigs. We have with Divine Beauty Accessories. We have just a lot. Nadine's Travel Oasis. So for those who want to get away because you need a break, reach out to Nadine's with a travel oasis so she can get you where you want to go anywhere in the world. So yes, thank you all for tuning in. And like I always say, the sky is never the limit because the galaxies are endless. For those who want to find me, just Google me, type in Yessie Rodriguez, and voila, I'll pull up right up. So thank you. Until next time.